Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Jason and today we are back with some more Distant Worlds universe. Last time we kind of got roped into a war because the Daedalus technocracy, this big pink blob over here, decided to attack our allies, the Kaedian territories, a faction of which we have a mutual defense pact with. So, you know, since they decided to mess with our very close allies, we decided to send Strike Force Alpha over to their systems to, you know, rough them up a little bit. And, wow, actually, right as we start this recording, our fleet has arrived inside, right in their space. So, now, I've found in wars, previously, you know, up to this point, I've been far too passive. So what I think I'm going to be doing, I will say, is being a little bit more aggressive. You know, we have our defensive fleet set up. We have our defensive, our defenses are all set up and everything's, you know, good to go. So, you know, why is it that I was always, you know, trying to grab, you know, strike forces and trying to bring them back and have them play defense? No. Let the defense, the defensive fleets deal with the defense, and let my offensive fleets deal with the offense. So that's basically what we're gonna do. Now, you know, while it might be tempting to go ahead and sit here and just sort of watch them blow the crap out of everything, you know, there are other things happening currently. You know, while this fighting is going on, I'm seeing messages coming up, and you know, we need to be keeping up with that, because I do have an empire to run, right? So actually, let's take a look here. We have completed the construction of a new naval academy at our colony, Bilgrith Minor 3. And I believe the reason we got this was because we wanted to have more, ship captains, fleet admirals. So we went ahead and we constructed that. And we have a planetary shield established up here in our territory, Agazuria 1. I think that might have happened last time. Well, regardless. So that's basically what's happening in this episode. Now, while we're going ahead and we're, you know, just marching through Daedalus technocracy territory here, it actually, wait a second. Daedalus technocracy, did we send an ambassador off to them? Let me take a look at our ambassadors. Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't we send off one? I believe we had set up Mr. San Kalen over to the Daedalus technocracy to sort of improve our relations, but you know, because they kind of roped us into a war, you know, they put us in a bad spot, we have no other choice but to go to war with the Daedalus technocracy. So you know, we have to we'll have to send that that ambassador off somewhere else to, you know, make sure that he's being we'll say, you know, we're making the most use of his unique skills. So while Strike Force Alpha is, you know, rampaging through the Daedalus technocracy's territory, I'm going to slow things down so that I can kind of get a good view of the whole picture. I'm going to just let Strike Force Alpha just rampage through. We're going to go ahead, after we're done in this system, we're going to go ahead and flying over to the Ytterus system. We're going to go ahead and blow up everything in there, and then, you know, hey, if we've got, we still have, you know, some fuel and we still have resources left with Strike Force Alpha, you know, we'll go to the Urge Trays system and we'll start blowing stuff up there. You know, I don't think we need more than just Strike Force Alpha to really, really hurt the Daedalus technocracy, so I'm not going to bother pulling too many of my Strike Forces out of position. However, you know, while we're going ahead and, you know, blowing up things, I'm wondering here, I should be on the lookout for decent continental planets. Like, for example, this one here, Ezga. That's an amazing continental planet. Look at this. 29.5k and quality of 90%. I actually think that maybe, let's see, Strike Force Echo. What is Strike Force Echo doing? They're just sort of hanging out here by the blue planet. Why don't we get them to load up some troops? You know, maybe we will send in a second Strike Force, you know, to actually invade a planet. Yeah, that we could do that. And now I would like to have a planet a little bit closer to our systems. You know, it bothers me a little bit that we don't have a bordering. I will say it won't create a bordering territory. So this is going to always be sort of a strange sort of satellite colony of ours. But it'll weaken them, and it'll give us a great we'll say new colony, a great new source of income. And it'll add one more continental planet to our we'll say, our collection Quemeno 3 looks like another good one, but I'm not sure if we'll get all the way there. Yeah, and we'll just have to see what kind of damage we can inflict onto the Daedalus technocracy. Now, it does look like, let me see, we have a research center, which does not appear to be one of our own designs, so I think we may have captured it, and it looks like it's under attack from, we'll say, a Daedalus technocracy. Yeah, okay, so basically it seems like we probably captured one of their own. Actually, no, that doesn't look like their design. I don't know what what we're doing with a research center in their territory, but I think it's probably a case of we managed to capture it from somebody, maybe I don't know, a pirate faction or something, and now whatever, they're going to go ahead and blow it up. It's not a huge loss. I don't have to worry about that. Now, what I should be paying attention to, though, and I just noticed here, was that the Daedalus technocracy is sending many ships over into Caiadian territory. And I've got to be able to see here if they're going to be capable of, we'll say, repelling these attacks. To me, it kind of looks like the Caiadians might be a little bit outmatched. So what I'm really hoping is that maybe, you know, with our assault right in the heart of their territory, they're going to start pulling back some of their ships. But you know what? It's possible that they won't, because if this is considered a strike force, you know, they might have that mentality that we should have had this entire time, that these ships are meant for offense, and these ships need to be used for offense, and they're going to continue to be used for offense. So, you know, there's a possibility that the Great Caiadian territory might be losing some planets. Now, we do have a fleet nearby, don't we? Strike Force Alpha is dealing with stuff over there, but we also had, where was it? Strike Force Bravo was en route, so they're not actually in system yet. So it makes me wonder: do we send Strike Force Alpha over here to assist in defense, or do we just kind of let the Caiadians fend for themselves a little bit here? Like, we really don't want this planet to fall. Let me see. Oh, actually, we've already gotten an. Oh, okay, that's raiding. Wait a second, raiding. So this Caiadian planet has got actually a pirate problem, evidently, which tells me that this is a very weak system, and there is a very good chance that the Daedalus technocracy will successfully, we'll say, attempt to invade and take this planet. So yeah, we really need to sort of create waves here. All right, Strike Force Alpha is done with that one. Why don't we go ahead and send them off to blow up this gas mining station? And, you know, they'll go ahead and they'll blow up that gas mining station, and then we'll send them off, like I said, to the next system, and then the next system, then the next system, then the next system. And then hopefully, we'll be able to, you know, defend our ally, or maybe pull some of their ships back. Like, I don't know, I'm just hoping. Actually, they're not listed as strike forces. Maybe we will be able to pull them back. Let's see. Dang. That's really not good. See, I was looking at this entire situation like, oh yeah, we've got this, no problem at all. You know, I'm not concerned with my own well-being. I know my defenses are rock solid, not a problem. But I forgot to take into account my and our allies, or ally in this case, the Caiadian territory. I don't know if they were going to have the defenses to repel this sort of invasion. Now, the Caiadian territories, they do have a, you know, this is not their main territory. You know, they do have their capital, which is where is their capital? Where's their main system? Well, actually, you know, it's an easy way of checking that. We'll go to the diplomacy screen, and where's the capital? What was that? Kiltus 1? Kiltus 1. Where's Kiltus? We just need to look for the Kiltus system, and that will show us where their capital is here. Is this it right here? Yes, that's it. So yeah, this planet here is not in any danger of falling. But you know, it is something that you know, we should be keeping an eye on. Dang, it's still unfortunate, rather. That's what I'm ultimately getting at. It's still unfortunate that, you know, that they are taking this beating, and that they're, we'll say, the future of these planets is uncertain. Actually, I think it might be pretty certain that they're going to fall. Unless they don't have any troops. They might not have any troops. How many of these vessels are troop transports? Those are frigates. There's a troop transport there. We don't know how many, if there are any troops there. Oh, there we go. We have an invasion right here on the planet. So yeah, this planet is going to fall. So our allies are losing planets, and that is a little bit frustrating. Because we don't want their influence to lessen, because we want to have a nice strong ally. So what we might have to do is once we get Strike Force Echo here, where are they? Was it Echo? Yes, there it is. Strike Force Echo. They are loaded up with quite a few troops. Once we get them fully loaded up, we might have to come back here and backfill. Kind of, we'll say, capture the Kaedian territories planets for ourselves. Like, we will go ahead and govern them, but at least that means that we'll have a strong presence in the area. We will be able to take over the defense of this area. At least it won't be in their hands. It'll be, within our own hands. All right, so Strike Force Alpha is arriving right here in the, Yaturus system. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just sort of blow apart their planetary defenses here. What do we got here? We got a large spaceport. That's actually actually, that is a lot of shield. 9,540. It makes me kind of curious. How many, actually, what kind of shields do we have on our, we'll say, our home planet? Just for comparison's sake, that actually seems like, seems rather high. We're going to go ahead and go to our colony here, the blue planet. The Sapphire Palace only has 7,700, so they've got more shields on their large spaceport than we have on ours. Now, I'm noticing we're taking some damage. Where is this ship? This ship here is up here. I think this one will be able to survive. Yeah, it's got, the self-repair robots. However, after this engagement, we might need to maybe set up our resupply ship, gas up, and allow our shields to recharge a little bit, because right now it's looking, yeah, our Strike Force Alpha is getting a little bit worn down. Let's see, the Rotor Prime Collective, which, if I recall correctly, is the Boscara, and they want to attack the Pantaloon Prime Utopia. You know what? Let's actually warn them. And that should hopefully improve our relationship with the Pantaloon Prime Utopia. And, well, obviously probably hurt the reputation with the Rotor Prime Collective. Let's see here. We are down to 18 ships. We have actually lost ships here in Strike Force Alpha. That sucks. And I believe part of the reason of that is that, for one thing, they're really spread out. They seem to be all hitting various targets. But we do have the Kaedians. They do appear to have come in, we'll say, joined in the fighting. But yeah, oh dang, that's another ship down. So we've lost 2 ships out of Strike Force Alpha. Once we destroy this, yeah, like I said, once we destroy this space station, we're going to definitely need to take a second to, we'll say, refuel and sort of rearm. This is actually a very resilient spaceport. Like, look at the damage. Like, normally, taking this much fire, one of our spaceports, I believe anyways, it's been a while since one of our spaceports has really taken a lot of direct fire. But I wish I could get a detail of the exact components, but I believe this sucker has a lot of armor on it. Because it's got some amazing survivability. And that kind of confirms what I was thinking about. I believe I mentioned it in the last episode about how I suspected the Daedalus technocracy would have a lot of, they would have, we'll say, impressive technology, that they would have that survivability, they would have the technology to be able to go toe-to-toe with us, and it looks like that is the case. Because I'm not seeing, it's not like they have a ton of ships here. They did just take out our capital ship, though. So that brings us down to 16 ships. And they're all warping out of system now because they can't take the heat. They can't take the heat. So what should we do? Since we can't take the heat, we need to sort of regroup, rearm here. So let's go back to this system here. This system has got some gas resources, right? Let me see. Do we have hydrogen? Helium. What about this one here? It's got Caslon. So this system here doesn't have any hydrogen, and I believe our ships are all using hydrogen. So we need to find a source of hydrogen that we can sort of set up on. Let me see here. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for, there we go, this planet right here. We're going to send Strike Force Alpha over here. Strike Force Alpha is, you know, they got beat up a little bit. They got a bit of a bloody nose, but ultimately, you know, if we look here, you know, the shields are recharging fairly quickly. You know, the fleet is still fully capable of engaging in combat. Actually, even if we look at some of the shields here, yeah, it probably could hold its own in a fight. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that this fleet remains as, we'll say, it remains fighting fit. So we're going to actually get this, was it the Tika Wolf, which is a resupply ship. We're going to go ahead and tell it to leave the fleet. And now that it's left the fleet, we're going to go ahead and tell it to deploy at this planet. So this is going to go ahead and deploy and sort of be a refueling point for our ships. So this is going to be our, we'll say, staging area for our assault on the Daedalus Technocracy. You know, if any of our ships are getting low on fuel and stuff, we can go ahead and send them over here. On that note, why don't I go ahead and go to the build order screen? And holy cow, I need to turn all these off. Maybe I should shut off that advisor. If you have the advisor enabled, like to give you suggestions and such, what will happen is every time you open up the build order screen, it will go ahead and you know, fill in what it wants, what it feels like you should be, you know, what you should have for you. So that's a bit of a pain. You know, I could have gone and picked the nearest spaceport, but I didn't feel like it. So let's go ahead and add, we'll say 2 capital ships, and we're going to go ahead and roll those into Strike Force Alpha. Just to sort of replace, actually, no, we had 18 ships. Well, I guess we'll oh no, never mind. We're just going to go ahead and back up to 17. We're just going to go back up to 17. Actually, I think did we have 19? Basically, I'm not refilling or rebolstering Strike Force Alpha's numbers as much as I should be right now, but that's all right. We're going to go ahead and assign these guys to Strike Force Alpha, so when Strike Force Alpha is ready to go, they will go ahead and join up with them. What are these guys doing? Strike Force Alpha is over there. We're going to go ahead and tell them to actually stay in above this planet. And that way they can protect the resupply ship. And, yeah, there we go. So we'll tell the Strike Force Alpha to sort of resupply, we'll say, defend the resupply ship for the time being, patrol this planet, this area, and we've basically gained a foothold into their systems. And that way they're... Oh, nice. We've captured a mining station from the Daedalus Technocracy. That's awesome. All right. So now... Everything's so quiet. It's so strange. Normally, I'm used to music constantly playing, but all of a sudden, everything's super quiet. Is the music even on? It was on earlier. Yeah, music's on. Okay. Weird. Oh, this is awkward feeling. Very strange. All right, so for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and let them do that. Strike Force Alpha is going to patrol around the planet. The resupply ship's going to be deploying, and then that will allow us to go ahead and, you know... use this as a sort of a base of operation. I've also told Strike Force Echo to come on over to the planet so that they can begin. We'll say we can begin some invasions here. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I see a dotted line which tells me that one of the planets has fallen. Yeah, this one here has fallen here out of Kaidian territory control. Now, what is it? Remazin 3. I wonder. Because it is recently switched over, we do have, we'll say, intelligence agents here. I'm wondering, what are you good at? You're good at counter-espionage. You're good at sabotage. Do we have any good psyop agents? No. All of our agents tend to really suck at psyops. Yeah. All right. So never mind. I was going to go ahead and see if we could incite a rebellion, or some sort of revolution on this planet, or something like that, and see if this planet would just go ahead and sort of switch over back to the Kaidian territory on its own. Because right now, they're content. The people on the planet are kind of content, even though they've just been invaded. So there's not that much of a chance of it, we'll say, switching back over, you know, having the population overthrow them. It's possible it could still happen, but it's not very likely. Now, I know that I sent these guys off on some missions. However, I don't see them on any missions, which tells me that I may have missed a message or two. Let's see here. Character killed. We have captured, okay, from Remsen Shipping, so that's not our character. Let's see, so character promotion. Okay, agent mission succeeds. Our agent Kobe Kalen has evaded detection after having successfully stolen the operations map of the Nexilian Union. Darn it, I should have... that's the second time I've missed it. I'm pretty sure if I pause right now, I'm still not going to get a chance to see it. And our agent said, Nothris has evaded detection after successfully assassinating... I believe that's one of the Nexilian guys. So our assassin was successful in his mission. Let's go ahead and pause real quick. I want to see... Yeah, I missed it. Darn, I should have been paying closer attention to that. If I went ahead and if I would have noticed the message right away, I would have been able to take a look at everything the Nexilians have. But right now, you know, I've been pulled over into the conflict with the Daedalus technocracy, so that's fine. That's whatever. This just looks like chaos. We have the Tikans over here. The Kaedian Empire is... No, they're holding their own for the time being. Looks like the Tikans have come over and tried to mess with them, but it looks like they've got enough ships to sort of defend their territory. Hopefully. So it's cool. It's you can definitely look around the map and sort of see where the major conflict areas are. It looks like the Shandar Paradise looks like it's pretty stable. Let me go ahead and take a look. Shandar Paradise. Yeah, they seem to be pretty okay with people. A lot of people are pleased with them. And I think that's I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Actually, wait a second. Ralden Corp. This faction here, the Ralden Corporation, yeah. They're almost gone. Are they at war with the Nexilians? Ralden Corporation? They're at war with, like, everybody. Well, not everybody, you know, a lot of people. So I have a feeling this faction here is about to be defeated. We have one faction here. It's like they were messing with the Nexilians a little bit, but, you know, eventually that planet is going to fall, and then we're probably going to see another empire, another we'll say, faction come out of, we'll say, their defeat. Interesting. It's making me nervous with these Tikan ships in our territory. It's really starting to annoy me. Because, oh, that's right, because they're at war with... What are they doing in our system here? Okay. Give me a second here. Give me a second, I gotta go talk to the Tikans. Tikans, send a warning. You remove your military forces from our territory. No, you don't see any... Oh, they see no reason. Can I tell a defense ship to open fire? I can't. Or a defensive base, rather. Do I have any ships here? Yeah, I got these guys. What are these ships? These are the Orazun Prime Defense Force. All right, guys, get to defending. I'm opening fire on the Tikans. They're basically hovering around in my territory. I don't want them here, and I feel like they're pushing their luck. So, there. Get lost. I've given you enough warning. Now, they're going to go ahead and they're going to be messaging us and being like, what are you doing? Stop! There we go. Oh, that was satisfying. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nemban Junction 1 defense base has been totally destroyed in an explosion. So somebody ran a sabotage mission against us and destroyed our defensive base around Nemban Junction 1. If only I cared about this planet enough to rebuild that defensive base. This planet is basically a money sink for us anyway, so it's not a big deal. Now, one other message I did notice earlier, and I haven't acted upon, is that we did get a new technology, I believe, what, the EMP pulse? Oh, dang, they actually have the other planet in the system. Oh, this is gonna make for some really awkward encounters here. Yeah, crap. I don't want to have a war on two different fronts here. So maybe I should have been a little bit more measured with, we'll say, that decision, but I warned them. They were getting on my nerves. A trade deal. All right, let's see. What do the Nexilians want to trade here? They want to lift trade sanctions, and they want us to give them a mining station. I'm willing to bet M1, the Tond system. Let's go ahead and see what base they're referring to. KLM. M1. That's up here. Yep, right here. That's our mining base. So basically, they want us to lift our trade sanctions and give them this mining base, which is not going to happen. Because this is a source of... What is this a source of? No, stop. I want the planet. Let me select the planet, please. That's not going to let me select the planet, is it? There we go. So Necrostone, Emerald Crystal, and Aculon. No. No, it's alright. Thank you, but no thank you. So yeah, we did get a new technology, the EMP... What thingamajig? What was it called? The EMP blasting. So fires an omnidirectional shockwave that disables weapons and engines of nearby ships and bases. We should probably be doing some retrofitting for this. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until maybe the current conflict. Actually, you know what? No, we're not gonna wait for the current conflict to be over. We're just gonna go ahead and take, you know, like Strike Force. Strike Force Bravo's in position. Echo's being used. The Desolation Moon. No, Strike Force Charlie. Charlie and Delta. We're gonna go ahead and get them to retrofit to the newest technologies. And to do that, though, we do need to go ahead and redesign those ships. Actually, how big is that? Let me take a look. Cruiser. If I were to, I'm just curious here to see what the EMP shockwave thingamajig is. How heavy it is, and basically what would be involved to put one of those on our ships. Okay, here it is. Ion Pulse. So fires an omnidirectional shockwave that disables weapons and engines of nearby ships and bases. Disabling power 24. It makes me wonder, not necessarily, let me see, a size of 20. It's pretty heavy duty. Do we have the shield recharging on our cruisers? Because what I'm wondering is if it would be a better idea to put ion pulses on our mining bases, basically all of our bases, as sort of a defensive measure, and then save the... Because it's, like I said, that's a lot of size. However, it could really turn the tide of battle. I'm going to think about it, because basically the logistics of, we'll say, adding that to the ships is going to be... It'll be rather involved, and... Like, if we consider what would be involved, first of all, I need to go ahead and redesign the ships. Then after redesigning the ships, I need to go ahead and assign the ships to go ahead and be retrofitted. However, I need to take into account the ships that are currently deployed, you know, ships that are currently out in the field. Like, let me see, Q next mission, can I refuel all ships at Tika Wolf? So I'll go ahead and make sure that these guys are all refueled here. You know, I need to go ahead and retrofit all the ships. Like I said, but making sure that they all sort of stay at their post. I want to be able to keep my defensive grid where it's at, because, you know, we are currently at war, and, you know, things are very tense. So it's very, it's a complicated issue, and it can be kind of a pain to sort of pull off. So. That's why I'm kind of like, let's see how this the next little bit goes with our with this war. You know, warning to stop attacks. You know what? You just get your crap out of my system, and we'll be just fine. They're like, well, we kind of have a base in that system, so this here is a recipe for disaster. This here is just a complete recipe for disaster. All right, now what I'm going to do is, because Strike Force Alpha has actually just refueled, I'm actually going to go ahead and have the Tika Wolf undeploy and actually join the nearest fleet. So it's going to be wrapped back into Strike Force Alpha, and we're going to begin using it again to go ahead and attack. And the reason why I was thinking about this was like, you know, it doesn't make sense to have a permanent base. We can come back and refuel at any point, anytime we want, because I think all of our Strike Forces have a resupply ship with them, with the exception of the Desolation Moon fleet. So I'm thinking, you know what, we've we can go ahead and come back here and refuel at any time we want. It doesn't, you know, I don't want to leave it undefended and then we lose the resupply ship. So we're going to go ahead and just tell Strike Force Alpha to jump over here to the Erd trace system. And we're going to go ahead and see what kind of damage we can do over there. So we're going to have them warp on over there and see what kind of damage we can wreak on the Daedalus Technocracy. Now, I'm kind of wondering, I'm like, where do I want to take this war? You know, I'd like to grab a planet. Grabbing a planet would be fun. But I'm like, you know, I'm starting to figure, like, do I want to start going for, like, the subjugated Dominion? I think that would be fun. You know, those kind of things are starting to cross my mind. It's like, I've had peace for too long. Now it's time to, you know, get a little bit crazy, get a little bit, we'll say, aggressive. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and just start wiping out all the bases and all the ships in this system here. Basically, I just want to wipe out the Daedalus Technocracy's space, all their space power. Anything that they have that can fly in space, I'm just going to send Strike Force Alpha in to just annihilate it. And then, you know, then from there I can sort of pick and choose and say, hey, do I want to invade this planet? Do I want to invade this planet? Yeah, maybe I'll invade this planet. We have a medium spaceport here. Sure, we'll go ahead and blow this one up. There we go. Let's see how well this one holds up. Pretty well. But our ships have had a chance to mostly... Actually, have they had a chance to really recover the shields? Oh yeah, I guess the Blue System Revolution, this ship here, I guess it took the brunt of the attack when it first warped in. So it was taking some focus fire, which is why it was, we'll say, damaged. All right. So yeah, our shields were all recharged. It was just a case of them taking down our shields relatively quickly, which is an area of concern. That tells me that, you know, our shields are being taken down. Well, they're being taken down relatively easily. So I'm like, is that a case that the Daedalus Technocracy just happens to have really good weapons? Because it looks like they're using the same weapons as we are. But at the same time, it's like, well, is it just because, is it that, or is it that our systems, our ships just don't have the defensive power to really withstand that kind of, or any kind of attack, really? Tidarios supplies exhausted. So all supplies of Tidarios at our colony, Platoonie Major 3, and that's some basically have been exhausted. Okay, that's fine. I'm pretty sure we have a secondary source of that as well. It's a pretty late game. It's not hard to get resources at this point in the game. At this point in the game, they're pretty abundant. So you know, I'm not too concerned about losing that. That's just one of the normal things that happens in the game. Sometimes, you know, they'll discover a new source of a resource. In this case here, they just happen to, you know, we exhausted one of our sources. Now, coming into this system here, this is the Daedalus system. This is their, we'll say, their homeworld. I think attacking one of the planets in here might be a bit of a bad move, or a wrong move. But then again, they have pulled away a lot of their ships. It doesn't look like they have a lot of... The Naxilian Union wants to trade the Zentabia fluid with us. That is an interesting proposal. Like, we already have Zentabia fluid. We don't need their Zentabia fluid. So it's kind of funny that... Yeah, I think we have trade sanctions against them, don't we? Yeah, we do. Let's double check. I'm pretty sure we do. Where are we at? Where is... Come on. Naxilian Union. Yeah, we have trade sanctions with them. That's interesting. Which they actually trade with us. You might make me reconsider my my future war with you. You might! So what I did was I warped Strike Force Alpha in just outside, you know, just on the outer perimeter of this system here, just to sort of draw their ships over to me, so I can wipe out their ships before I start moving into, you know, hit their bases and stuff like that. Yeah, so far, so good. Now, I don't want to go straight for their home planet just yet. I want to sort of hit their these other planets first. Ooh, that's a defensive battery. We'll test their defenses a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and hit the Ezga, the planet Ezga, and see what they can manage to pull off. Holy cow, we're gonna be losing ships. This ship right here, dropped in out of hyperspace right over top of this this defensive base. Their defensive base is hit freaking hard. Holy cow. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I need to get these guys out of there. Give me a second. We're down to 15 ships already. Escape. Just get out of there. Are they going to take it out? On their way out? Not quite. Not quite. Oh, yes. Yes, maybe. Yes. It was like the last missile. So Strike Force Alpha definitely took a beating in there. I suppose, like I said, I suppose that was to be expected. That is their home system. So that's and like I said, they do have the technology to sort of go head to head with us. All right. I know I've been focusing a lot on the we'll say the war and where our various ships are and stuff like that. You know, I've neglected a little bit of we'll say our empire, but you know, it's working without us. It's working fine without us. We'll maybe keep an eye on other parts of it a little bit more. Ah, man, yeah, are we at war with the Teekans, or is this sort of like a Cold War thing where we've got some yeah, we got some small skirmishes here and there, but we're not in all-out war with the Teekans. That is a very interesting situation because we got, you know, our ship here that's firing on 2 Teekan vessels, but we're not actually at war. That's I love these complex situations that come out of this game. Anyways. If you liked the video, you like the content, and you would like to see more of it, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave it a thumbs down. Either way, let me know what you thought in the comment section. And until next time, I would like to ask you all to game on.